Right. I feel shorter than I am, actually. So, what it must be to feel like what the Lilliputs felt following the giants who spoke today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And I swear I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to start with a small story. A few military officers in the house, sir, with your permission. Uh, a military officer's mess is a party place that doesn't stop. I've been there, I know it, and it doesn't stop. And back in India, there's a regiment called the Kumaon Regiment. There's a big tiger skin that is mounted on the wall, which reads the text, "The tiger who died of shame." The story behind it is that there was a big party. All the officers were drinking and partying and talking. They did not eat till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And the mess assistant was really agitated over it. So as he walked in to clean the leftover food with a ladle, a dog barked at him. And the mess assistant kind of had it because he was done. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, Kumaon Valley is cold as ever. He slammed one shot with the ladle and he carried on with his day. Following day, when they opened the mess, there was a 12-foot long tiger dead on the mess floor. Turns out the dog that jumped was not a dog, it was a Bengal tiger. Now this story is being brought by the Kumaon regiments for 3 elements, right? And they have built a narrative with it. They have built their narrative with it. Story 1 is that they use this to increase recruitment, the story of the braveness, okay? To increase recruitment into the regiment. Story 2 is to talk about their bravery and to drive morale into the soldiers back in the field. And story 3 is to intimidate their enemies and say, the mess assistant in our army kills tigers. Who the hell are you to me? Now this is the narrative that's been built by a military unit, a single regiment. And looking all of this, all my notes, all the speakers kept on talking about how Sri Lanka does not have a narrative, how Sri Lanka does not have a story. So let's begin. Audacity is one thing Shivan started with, and I believe that's something we need as a nation. If we are to build tourism, we need to have audacity. We need to be able to say, no, we are done with promoting all the old stuff. No, we are done promoting the itineraries that is old 25 years. We are going to develop something new. That audacity has to be there in order for us to build a brand narrative or a master brand or a master plan, a blueprint for that matter, that was spoken by all the speakers. So I think that is something very important, and I think audacity is something we need to have in the modern day. Next up is that we always spoke about analyzing. Rohanta delivered this exceptional presentation on loading capacity, but it also spoke about a lot of data. And modern day, everything is about data. Look at social media. Everything is about your data, your preference. You talk about a mobile phone with your friend. Just have a conversation over the phone. The next moment, that ad pops up. How do you think that happens? They analyze your data. And this data is being used to promote tourism or promote experiences or promote products. If so, why aren't we using it to promote Sri Lanka? A question to ponder for ourselves, I guess. Next, we were talking about doing a capacity planning or a capacity analysis or a load analysis for Sri Lanka, which I think is something we need. Because although we have so many resorts, so many hotels, so many properties, I did a small research for about the middle sector, luxury and boutique hotels. There are 208 plus properties, luxury properties, single loan luxury properties. These are set up by people who have retired. There are 208 plus properties. And these properties have zero assistance, zero marketing capability, because the owner manages the property and the son or daughter manages the marketing. Where are we headed in terms of helping these people? Aren't they investors of the same country? How are we going to help them? Let me leave that question with you all. Next up, Krishani spoke about, very aptly, you spoke about adventure and how so much we can be done. And adventure tourism is something very important, something very dear to me and my partner. But do you all know that Sri Lanka does not have a framework for adventure tourism? Sri Lanka does not have a guideline for adventure tourism. We have a guideline. You log into the website and see, by the way. You are free to log in and check. We have a guideline for a guiding office or a tour office to say, this is the office space, you need to have this much office space, you need to have this many officers, this many computers, this many, everything is mentioned. But when it comes to adventure tourism, zilch. So because of that, we are unable to set up a standard in the field that we love so much. Because of that, substandard people come into the play, and because of that, substandard services are delivered, and because of that, our reviews about our adventures, about our experiences, go back negatively to the world. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Next, Dr. Rajiv spoke about 80% of travelers look at our food and beverages. And when they walk out or they fly out there to their country, 60%, 65% of them purchases something that they have connection to the foreign land they met. That means 65% of the 80% who have actually traveled, that's a brilliant conversion rate if you look into data. Just look at the conversion rate. If any sales professionals are here, look at the conversion. And if you can actually look at food as a very, very important factor, I think we have a winner. Because flavors out there, like what I love to eat, you cannot find anywhere else in the world. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. Next is how we can actually collaborate. And I think that is something very important, hence why we came up with the theme, the Shangri-La team, and my team came up with the theme, how we need to collaborate first, engage second, then only we can rethink. So we have collaborated, we have engaged with you all, now let us rethink. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you I'll keep it short. Let me tell you one thing, and this is strictly Kolitha Ratnayaka saying, nobody else. So I take full responsibility of my statement, because I believe we need to stop selling the legacy so we could build a destination. I believe we need to stop selling the culture so we could build flavors. I believe that we need to stop selling our history so that we can build a future. Ladies and gentlemen, let's collaborate, engage, rethink. MCs, over to you.